Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of MDG Talk Season 2. I am Ankita Parekh and today I'll be co-hosting with Kaustubh Trivedi. We've often seen men as the founders of some great companies and in the entrepreneurship world in general. However, today we have an amazing and a very special guest with us, Mrs. Palak Jaju, founder at Limo, a startup that aims to democratize fashion styling. She is also an IIT Roorkee pass out from the batch of 2015 with bachelor's in electrical engineering. Welcome, ma'am. We are really glad to have you here.
Same here, guys.
Okay, so I think we have spoken enough about Limo. Now we would like to know from a founder's perspective, what is exactly Limo and what is your vision behind this idea?
Okay, so Limo, in its very core sense, what we are trying to do is we are trying to help women wear and shop the right things. So it came out of my own personal problem. So for me, looking, like wearing the right things and when I step out of the house, like looking great is really important because I'll dive more into the philosophical aspect for it. But then I strongly believe in the power of fashion of how you can hack into, feeling what you want to feel. So I thought this is the kind of thing that should be accessible to everyone. One and on more research, I found that women normally spend like 5+ years of your life. You just spend around deciding what to wear, and then you add shopping to it. It becomes a huge 8+ years, and which is like 2-3 career jumps. So I thought like this is something very subtle, but then this is holding us back from achieving, like the bigger dreams in our life. So we thought that there should be someone to whom I can outsource these decisions to, so that I can focus on more important things in my life. So that was the major like the motivation behind Limo. That is one. And second is, as I mentioned, I strongly believe in the power of fashion to hack into how you want to feel. So um, like some people have told me कि यार क्या fashion मतलब be what you are, etc. I totally agree with that. But then everywhere around us we are trying to hack into feeling good. If you're not feeling good, you take medicines. If you're not feeling good, you take alcohol, you take cigarettes, etc. All those things are there, right? So this is also for me a kind of tool in which you can literally fake into feeling awesome. So that is my perspective around fashion, and that's what it is. Now coming into democratizing fashion styling part. So right now, fashion styling is something that जब हम सोचते हैं, so what comes to our mind is it's something for celebrities and high end people, and it is true. Like it is not very something that is very affordable at the moment. Outside India, it's like it costs thousands of dollars. Inside in India, like it starts from 15,000 per session, etc. So we thought that everyone should have the power to experience this thing and how it makes them feel. So that's why we thought that let's go into the segment where we can actually make this thing accessible for everyone. So that's the like the main motivation behind Limo. And going to the vision, so I imagine a place which is a completely personalized ecosystem. So you look at CureFit, every single health related things are solved at the same place. Similarly, a platform where not just your shopping needs, fashion is not just shopping. आपके जो भी fashion decisions हैं are being done at the same place. So आपको क्या पहनना है आज, like what I want to wear that, what I want to shop that, any content I want to see, styling tip. So जो आपके relevant influencers हैं or people who like which match with your style profile, you are getting the relevant feed. And even one more thing we do is we collaborate with our friends, whether it be for shopping, उनके कपड़े borrow कर रहे, everything. So if I have your wardrobe there, then you can actually collaborate on that as well. So literally every single thing that you do with fashion, very highly personalized, keeping two data points at the core at the same place, you should be able to do.
You just said having your wardrobe shared among your friends. What did that mean?
That means that um, so from the friend's perspective or your wardrobe perspective?
I mean, sharing my wardrobe is still an option if I'm living with a friend, and of course I'll borrow something from him and
Yes.
I'll wear it. But I think you said it from some layman's perspective, because I read in your on your website that the wardrobe is on an app, and I think that should be shared. So could you tell us a bit more about it?
Sure. So we have a mobile app where you can upload your wardrobe. So we don't expect you to upload every single item, click every single item and upload it. But you can share your older pictures, and what we'll do is we'll extract the items out of it. So आपने अगर एक in an image you have worn some shirt, pant, and shoes, etc. So we'll take out those items and add it into your wardrobe. That is one, and we have another ways on which we'll be working on in the future to take out your wardrobe smoothly. But the idea is, the end result is that through some way we are able to take your wardrobe and have it in one place. handy for you. So that data can be used to deliver highly personalized recommendations for you.
So, we have many founders from IIT Roorkee who are working in different startups, and some of them are from MDG itself, but none of them is working in a fashion industry. And I would like to say that they are mostly working in the tech industry, being from IIT, but the market about the fashion industry is completely, we are not explored it, and we are not familiar with it, and I think our viewers also not familiar with it. So can you tell us a bit about what is the market of Limo, and how did you identify a market in the fashion industry itself? Because of course you are also from IIT Roorkee.
Okay. So how did I identify? As I mentioned, right? I was looking at my personal problems, and then I went behind it. Okay, this is one of the key problems I have, and then let's solve it. So it happened to be in the fashion industry. So that was it. But if you drill more into it, so the market for fashion in general around the world is more than $1 trillion. And in India, it's like $47 billion right now. And year on year, it keeps growing like 5-10%. So that is how the market looks like. So that was the answer you were looking for?
Yeah, that was, and the other part of the question is, who are your target customers? Is it just the women of a particular age, or are you including men also? Yeah.
Okay, so we are not including men. That is first. But even in women, like we have 3 segments of customers, and we do have our theories around each one of them. So first is we'll start with the ones who are let's say who have more than 5 years of work experience. So these people, they don't have time in their lives, but again, they don't want to compromise with their styling choices, etc. And they have the money as well to pay for it. But the major factor is they don't have time. So again, they will not be uploading their wardrobe. So solution has to be different for them. Then we have people who have last year of college, or they have graduated, so freshers, anywhere between 5 years experience. So now these are the people who don't feel very confident in their fashion sense, and they really want to spend on it because this is the time they feel I should be grooming myself, etc. So they want to invest their time, money both on it. So this is the second population. And the third is now college going students. So again, they don't have money for it, they have time for it. So that is not the target we are going for right now.
Okay. So this is definitely these 3 sectors you are want to go in the future itself, right? That is your target eventually.
Yes. But right now we are targeting working women.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so you graduated as an electrical engineer from IITR, right? And then you worked in companies like Playment and Leaf Technologies. So these are companies nowhere related to fashion, according to our research. So, how did you manage to enter into the fashion world? Did you have some connections or something? And what was exactly the story of hiring your first stylist?
Okay. So number one, you say electrical engineering, but I know nothing about electrical, no idea about it. My husband makes a lot of fun about me कि 4 साल मैंने बर्बाद करे, but yeah, nothing electrical. Now coming to Leaf and Playment, Leaf definitely, like Leaf was completely different. But in Playment, I was consulting a lot of computer vision companies. So I was the only one who actually, collaborated with a lot of fashion tech startups. So fashion tech mein agar Playment mein like someone had to collaborate with clients, it was me. So that's why I got to know the fashion tech side of it and the potential of, like how, in what ways personalization can be done. So that's where I got my initial exposure from. And then and seeing there, I understood that styling is a very tough problem to crack in terms of algorithm wise. People do start making their algorithms. Kar denge, color matching se kar denge, but it's not like that. Fashion keeps changing very continuously. So I have an idea of, I know that it cannot be solved easily, and I have alternate ways of solving it. So I thought that, okay, with my previous exposure there and with my problem here, and plus I actually love fashion. Like, I mean, in my free time, you can find me scrolling through, like various feeds, and I would go to the extent of, if I like a top worn by any, let's say, influencer or by actress, I'll go to the extent of finding it anyhow. So that's why I discovered that isme I can spend my 10 years of life easily. So I thought, okay, let's jump into it.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, so just one quick question. In your plan about Limo, do you want to, because I'm asking this because most of the industries, as whatever the product facing companies are, they eventually try to include social media into their startup. So, and fashion is the one thing where social media is, of course, a
Yes.
need and everything. It should be. So, is it a plan in in your vision that Limo will one day have a social network where people, if I'm wearing this, there is a tag on it. Like I tag people right now, and there in every
Mhm.
photo you'll be tagging the photos, the particular wardrobe of that person. Is that a
Yes,
vision or yeah?
that is a vision. So if you see in the feed right now also, right? आपका feed अभी आता है. So you see
Hmm.
कि influencer ने ये पहना है, but you can buy these things from here. But what I want is
Yeah,
that should be clubbed. कि these
yeah.
things are something that you can wear from your wardrobe, and these are some one two
Hmm.
things that are missing, so which you can buy.
Hmm.
So that is also one aspect
Okay.
that we look in the future. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, this was one of the biggest questions that came to my mind as soon as I had a look at your Limo website. The question is about scalability. The Limo is currently including many people who are styling your customers. And but as the customers grow, let's say they reach to 1 million, then how do you plan to handle such a volume of customers? Because
Hmm.
including AI, you just said that it is very hard, maybe not possible because fashion changes very rapidly, and if possible, then it is also very hard. So, how does technology come into play, and what is your vision about scaling the whole startup?
Sure. So just to clarify, when I say stylist, I don't mean in-house stylist. I mean these are
Okay,
crowdsourced network of people. So in Playment, I have
okay,
also done projects through crowdsourcing. So Playment was into like we'll convert client projects into tasks, into literally games, which
hmm.
people like let's say college-going students, housewives will solve. They will get some
Hmm.
money out of it, and then our clients' data gets solved. So that is the
Hmm.
same model that I believe is very scalable.
Hmm.
And same here, like we don't have in India, we don't have a dearth of stylists at all. Like I have tested the supply side by just posting random requirements, and people are
Okay,
willing to work for very less. Like in just a single day, I get 200, 300 applications if I put for any fashion styling because
okay,
they don't have opportunities available for them. So what I'm looking for is like again a crowdsourcing platform sort of place where customer is
hmm.
putting up a request, it gets converted in the form of a task, and it's assigned to the most relevant stylist depending on the कि कौन stylist का profile is matching with that customer, and then
Hmm.
that person can solve it. And even on phone itself, they are earning money while they are doing something else. So it's a part-time freelancing or gig economy sort of thing that I imagine. Now, how technology comes into picture is how something Stitch Fix is also doing it. That
Hmm.
once we have delivered a lot of styling, we have lots of data of what real styling looks like. So
Hmm.
we'll use that data to optimize the task for stylists. So, for example,
Hmm.
for stylists, if it takes 15 minutes to deliver a styling today, uh,
Hmm.
and because they literally have to do everything manually, but we'll see what all tasks can be automated for the stylist through AI or through algorithms, so that over time they're able to do it in just 1 minute or 2 minutes. So it becomes real time actually.
Okay, so you just said that the supply of the stylist is huge. Uh, am I right? And they're working. You're trying to keep this into task. So how do you manage the quality of the service that you'll give to the customer? Because if the
Hmm.
quality of service goes down in a product-facing company, then of course that's a biggest
Yeah.
downside that we can face. So how do you plan to tackle that?
Again, like there can be lots of quality check mechanisms from there. So let's say if someone is delivering the styling, someone is checking it as well. So it can be a flow around it. And it
Okay.
seems very complex, but since I have seen it doing it Playment, so like three
Hmm.
people will solve the same question and then
Hmm.
one person will check it. So it on a scale, it becomes really fast. Like things move really fast, the
Okay.
entire data. So
Okay.
it can be done that way as well. Plus, they can be automated checks as well, just to check if they have done the right thing or not. Like some things are missing or not, or some logics.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I mean, a quality will definitely like is a big challenge. Quality and time, like delivering things in
Hmm.
that time.
Hmm.
But I think through the power of crowdsourcing and automating things at the right place, it can be done.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Right. And also, since right now you said that all the things are done manually, so you must be having a team, right? So how do you manage that? The team management. How does that go about?
Team management. Okay. I mean, team management, I don't know, something is that has came naturally to me. Since my first startup, I have been managing a team who's reporting to me. So, I mean,
Okay.
the but
Those previous experiences.
previous experiences, yes, learning from there. And
Okay.
just like a few tips I can give you is just sync up with them daily so that they have clarity on what to work on, and keep them involved in larger decisions. I mean, wherever possible. It's not possible always, but just to show
Hmm.
them the larger picture so that they are motivated as well. So that's like keep them motivated through like some incentive, not incentives, like so first of all, hire people who who really want to learn. Hiring
Okay.
right people is the first thing, and
First
then
thing, right.
you know that if they are self motivated, they'll take up the task themselves. So in my case, it has been always like if I am busy with something, people realize that okay, yeah, she's doing a lot of things, so she doesn't have time. So they will themselves, try to pick up tasks which they can do themselves. कि यार आपके workload से ये हटा देते हैं, वो हटा देते हैं. So they themselves want to upskill themselves, so they take up that challenge as well. And I stay updated with them by just having like 15-minute, half an hour sync up on a daily basis.
Yeah, this is not your first startup?
No, as in working in a startup. So before this, I
Okay.
worked in 2 startups. So both
Right,
there,
right.
I have managed the teams both of the places.
Okay.
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 That's amazing.
So you knew those people who you've hired before, right? Or they were just new applicants or something. You knew them
No.
before.
No. In this case, they were all new applicants because I didn't come
Okay.
from a fashion background.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it was not possible.
So how big is the team right now?
6 people.
Okay, that's a core team, including stylists or excluding them?
Stylist, like a full-time stylist is 1, but apart from that, there are on the same basis that if any task
Right.
comes, they'll solve and we'll give them a cut.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Alright.
when you start, you as you said, you're working in some other company and you're getting a salary, and now you're going for a startup. So how did your family react to it? In particular, how your parents reacted and how your spouse reacted to it?
See, my parents have always been very supportive, but leaving a very high-paid job becomes a very tough thing for them to process.
Yeah.
But they have always been kind enough to not say it on my face. So they'll be like, अच्छा startup के बाद job मिल जाएगा क्या वापस से, या मतलब 1 साल का gap हो जाता है या 2 साल का gap हो जाता है. तो I'm like, हाँ मम्मा मिल जाता है, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. Same उस पे मिल जाएगा, but it's okay, like it's worth trying. So and surprisingly, I mean, there is this thing I have noticed. So there are supporters. You tend to see supporters around you, but there are even supporters you can divide in 2 parts. One who totally believe in you, and then one who love you, and that's why they are supporting you, right? So,
Right.
for example, if you ask my father, he doesn't know what I'm doing. He just knows कि पलक startup कर रही है, कुछ fashion में कर रही है, तो उनको लगता है कपड़े बेच रही है, ठीक है? But he's like, so whenever he calls me, like once a month, we have a quick talk, and he's like, yeah, like you will do it. I have full confidence, and I'm like, Papa, जान तो लो मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, but you will do it. And then my mom is like, she slowly keep asking my husband or my sister कि okay, इसका कैसा चल रहा है और इसको job मिल जाएगी क्या? She loves me, she's supporting me, but then she's worried about me as well. So yeah, these are the 2 kinds of supporters you manage during this
Inside
time.
information, your mother is looking for the inside. Yeah. Okay, that's.
All right. So, there's a very wide gap in the numbers and, the growth of ventures led by females in comparison to those led by men. So what do you think is the reason for this? And what are the, specific challenges that women face in the entrepreneurship world and which you have also faced?
Okay. See, so number 1, I think the biggest reason is psychological. I have seen men tend to feel more confident in their skills. So even like when I have been managing men, like the men who are reporting to me and women who are reporting to me. So I have seen that I was in their same shoes 2 years back. So let's say Playment ka example le lo. I was a project manager, then I was an engagement manager. So now I became an engagement manager. I'm managing all these PMs, but the PM who come as look, who are males. So they'll be like, अब तो मैंने सब सीख लिया, अब तो मैं खुद से सब कुछ कर सकता हूँ. Like I've done everything because that role was something that was hands-on. You learn analytics, you learn operations, product, everything, right? And even I didn't feel confident at that time कि यार शायद मैंने सब कुछ करा है, नहीं करा है. So this is something that I've seen ingrained, literally. Like for women, they have to fight their self-doubts a lot before starting up. So for me personally, I don't feel ki like ecosystem is not accepting women. It's just that women find it hard to start up just because of their self-doubts. So that is something I have found. One is that, and second is personally, मेरे case में नहीं हुआ है, like touch wood. But yes, support from family is one thing. Like especially like अगर they think कि आप फिर marriage के बाद क्या होगा या वो क्या होगा. So those things come secondary. But I think first thing is fighting your own self doubts, which I also had. But then I thought कि यार ये तो कभी complete नहीं होने वाला है. I'll never feel confident enough, so let's just jump into it. So that is fun.
When it comes to particularly to startups, is there do you feel a difference when a male founder goes to these
These
investors?
Investors.
Yeah, investors in general, and when a female founder is going into to
The investors.
Yeah.
So I think there's just one incident I remember. Apart from that, everyone has been accepting. So, like in our case, if we were talking to like few VCs, like they all raised inbound when I started. So one of them was that, who is your co-founder? So I said, okay, my husband helps me, so he can be a co-founder in the future as well. So he's like, the CEO cannot be part-time. So he just assumed that my husband will be the CEO and I'll not be. So I stopped talking. I never replied to those people after that. So I mean, that was the only incident I had. But apart from that, whoever I've talked to, like 9 out of 10 people are supportive. One can be, they might have those things ki yaar, since I'm married, there might be questions ki yaar bachcha bhi kar rahe kya
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
So 90% are good. I mean, 10% it's your luck if you come across those people.
Right. So you're leading the startup yourself, or do you have as an official co-founder who's working full time in the startup?
Not I'm doing full time. My husband helps me, but like, he cannot be the co-founder in the future.
Yeah, that's a feat, I would say. Yeah, it's not easy to lead the startup yourself.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you're leading the startup yourself, and I think it would be very hectic for you, and of course, it would be difficult for you to find time for your family, and especially even even in your family. I mean, going out for trips, and the whole dynamic changes after you leave a job. Because in job you have a particular, the weekend is there, and then they're giving you some off time. But how did it change just after after starting the startup, and how do you manage that now? Because that's always whenever I think about starting up, I always think, yeah, सब कुछ छोड़ना पड़ेगा, पहले से बना लो, जो कुछ करना है कर लो अभी, because when you started, it will just go, everything would change.
Yeah, honestly, I also used to think the same way ki 7 days a week, 12, 13 hours a day, you have to work like crazy. And I have done that as well. And the thing is, you don't feel like going out because, like you just think, yaar, aur thoda kaam kar lo, to aur thoda improvement hoga, aur thoda kaam kar lo. So, ek to wo personal obsession rehta hai ki you have to keep working. But the thing is, what I've realized is the frequent breaks are very necessary because they literally get you. You start feeling demotivated after some time, and you start feeling that's in the end result, and you even start feeling tired, burnout ho jata hai. So you need to take those breaks, and you need to be conscious about them. So in my case, like again, like my husband, my family, they have been like, एक वीक तो खींच के ले ही जाते हैं कि यार चलो उस टाइप से. So then I do feel good about it. So it's like that. But there are weeks I don't want to go out, do anything at all. I just want कि यार और मुझे थोड़ा काम करने दो, ये भी बच रहा है, वो भी बच रहा है. Because all the time there are hundreds of tasks that are remaining that I can attend to. So that's a difficult thing. But again, like I think you have to make sure that you are taking enough rest, because even you tend to slow down, is what I've observed. After breaks, I'm rejuvenated, and then I'm keep working at a much faster pace. So that's a balance that you have to maintain. But I think we tend to be workaholics, so wo thoda problem ho jata hai.
Yeah.
Do you have a particular methodology about? I mean, most of the people take rest as something that they would do before taking major decisions. I mean, they connect to major decisions as just after taking rest. Do you have a methodology about taking big decisions for your startup, or because some people are more like deliberating over it, so keep in back of their mind? How do you do it?
On a daily basis, or the startup decision you are saying?
I mean, it depends on what you consider as big decisions for the startup.
Okay.
It changes over a period of time, right? So
that is true. Big decisions. So number one, like, so we have this thought in my mind. I mean, Kunal Shah says it really well. Ki we have to keep, working on tasks all the time. Ki agar aap kuch nahi kar rahe ho, there is no hustling or there is no physical work we are doing, then it feels like hum idle baithe. Whereas that idleness is also very much that's needed. So like I ensure that once a week I'm just, like every day I'm working, but let's say Friday or Saturday I'm sitting and I'm literally thinking of ki kya hua hai week mein, what has happened in the month and how we can go forward. So sometimes you don't feel like taking out that time because you think again hundreds of tasks are pending. But the thing is, these times you have to take out to take the right decision, to make sure that you are going in the right direction. So that's something you have to do very, I mean, थोड़ा झक मार के करना पड़ता है, but करना पड़ता है.
Literally, जक मार के करना पड़ता है.
But when you do it, you feel a lot of clarity. So,
Okay. Okay, I think we can move on to the next round. We would go to asking you one-liners, and
Yeah.
I think Ankita can start with that.
Okay. So, what is that one thing that has personally changed in your style after Limo?
अच्छा, my personal style.
Yeah.
Nothing actually. I've always been very experimental. So I try ki every 7 days a week I'm wearing very different styles. So and that I try even right now. Work from home also I get ready very nicely. I wear different things every day. So nothing.
So you feel really confident, from working from home and still getting ready. You do that for that confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or even feeling fresh. Otherwise you feel all sleepy, groggy, zombie like that.
Definitely.
Okay, so how do you prefer to find ideas for your venture? From the problems you're facing personally, or from analyzing the markets around you, which are growing around you?
For me, it's like I would always prefer the problems I'm facing, because then it's one step reduces. Otherwise, you have to go to the people who are facing the problems and keep taking feedback. And in my case, the decision making becomes a little faster because I can literally think from their shoes. So I would prefer the first thing always.
Okay, so what would you prefer? A startup with competition or being a first mover?
No, a startup with competition. First
Startup
mover
with
में there will be lots of doubts. किसी और ने क्यों नहीं करा है?
Do you have a competition right now?
Not in India, but outside India there are many.
Okay.
Okay.
So one great option of your UX.
One great.
UX.
Okay. Personalization and making the entire thing very very friendly. So even if you fill, there is a form that comes in the chat form. So a chat form we have made a very onboarding form where we ask details like what is your height, etc. So after some time there are these like, oh, did you feel awkward about that? You should not feel awkward about that. So there are those friendly prompts and the welcome thing. Like as soon as you complete the onboarding, there is a very big picture of yours. So just to convey it is about you and welcoming you to the club. So we want to ensure those personal touch points everywhere.
Great.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. So now some things about the college as well. You must be missing IITR, right? So what's your favorite memory from IIT Roorkee?
Favorite memories? So one is like कभी movie देखना है तो you have to go to Haridwar to see the movie.
That's still the case.
So randomly jumping on the bus. So that felt very adventurous, like pehle, like you were studying all the time. You were just, you never went out just because you were preparing for IIT. But now suddenly you have all this freedom ki yaar, now I'm going to Haridwar, I'm going to Dehradun for this. Or Rishikesh ja rahe chill karne. So all those things were really interesting.
So
Haridwar is always like 30 minutes ago. We don't have to get anything. Yeah.
And there was a time when like we were कौन सा था यार, 2-3 I think hotels साथ में आते, Divine etc. And so we planned कि वहाँ खाने चलते हैं. Then we were like यार अभी सुबह ही हो रही है, हरिद्वार ही चल लेते हैं. So sudden impulsive decisions felt really nice.
Yeah, adventure. A lot of adventure. Yeah. So that's a good memory. So what is one of the regrets you feel about having about the college?
Regrets, I think not learning how to code because I am not saying competitive coding. I had no interest in coding, but just learning how to develop some application myself so that I could do it for my own startup later. So now I realize that it's actually pretty easy to do it. But उस time मैं कर ली थी तो मुझे थोड़ा confidence रहता कि ठीक है, कभी भी मैं मेरे parallel में experiments करते रह सकती हूँ. So
has it been always your dream to having a startup, or it just came after the problem you were facing?
No, it has always been the dream.
Okay.
That's great. All right, so I think that's a wrap for the interview. Thank you so much for this, really, really insightful interview. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we wish you all the very best for Limo
Thank you.
all your future endeavors. So thank you.